During these difficult times, it's important for you to know what happens if your financial situation is so bad that you're not able to pay your mortgage. A lot of people are asking me questions now about what happens. What happens if the bank forecloses? What are the things that they should be aware of? I've been practicing real estate for 23 years. My name is Ivan C. One of the things I would tell my clients about foreclosures and the whole foreclosure process is, first of all, don't worry about the bank taking over the house, taking it, seizing it, and selling it so quickly that you can't have a chance to pay it back. The foreclosure process in the courts is complicated, and it's important that you seek legal advice if you're in that situation. But generally, be aware that it takes about a 6 month period of time through the courts to allow the person who's being foreclosed to come up with their own funds or other alternative methods of financing to pay off that mortgage. It won't happen right away. The lender who is foreclosing will have to apply to court, and it takes a couple of months for that to happen. And when you get to that first court hearing, it's called an order nisi hearing. That doesn't mean the house is sold. It means that now, at that point in time, there's a 6 months time frame in general, on average, and as a matter of right almost, for the homeowner, the mortgagor, to pay off that mortgage or find another way to pay. So first of all, don't be afraid that it's going to happen so quick. Start preparing because you have some time. It's not a whole lot of time, but it is some time. And 6 months period of time, you can find another way to find financing. Another way to help is to get other people to help with paying off that mortgage that's due. One other thing to notice, though, during that 6 months of time, it's not that as if the mortgage is not being accruing interest. There is interest accruing every day, but you don't have to worry too much in the sense that the banks will not be able to take action to seize the house, to sell the house during that period of time. And it's important for you to know that this 6 month redemption period is almost always every time a way in which the person owing can have that time to pay. In these difficult times, many of you have been thinking about how to help your parents do the normal financial routine matters that they need, your parents or elderly relatives need every day. During the last 2 months, it's been very difficult for many people to all of a sudden have to be able to help their parents, help their elderly relatives, without having the power to do so. And I want to tell you today about how important it is, more than ever, to get powers of attorneys for your elderly parents or relatives. My name is Ivan C. I've been doing wills and estates for 23 years, and the powers of attorneys are very useful and effective ways in which you, as a younger person, to help your elderly parents or their relatives conduct their financial affairs. There are two types of powers of attorneys in BC. One is one that deals with financial and property matters, called a power of attorney. The other kind is called a representation agreement, which takes care of the health matters of someone elder and someone who is going to be incapable of making those decisions for health and health care. So those two types are available. They're very important to have. If you don't have a legally executed powers of attorney or representation agreement, there's no authority given from any other way or source that allows you to act on their behalf. So it's important that you get these done. Seek a professional to tell you how you can have it done and what is the best way to help your parents in that situation. Now, powers of attorneys is important to have because it deals with all kinds of financial situations. It could be that you don't want your parents or your elderly relatives to go to the bank or to the insurance company to renew the insurance or to renew the car license. All these things financially that you need someone to have a power of attorney to help them conduct those affairs. When it comes to health matters, this has been a very difficult time for the people who are in care homes. The idea of whether they can exit out, go to a different home, sign a contract in order to care for them in a different place, these are all things that no one else can act on their behalf unless they have a representation agreement. And it's important to know how to do this. And at this point in time, it's relaxing a little bit. The society has been a little bit easier, but the risk is still there. It's important for all of us to take care of our elderly citizens, our parents, and our elderly relatives the best way we can, and one of which is to consider having powers of attorneys or representation agreements done for them.